Who are you and what do you do?
My name's Amanda Edwards, and I am the Electoral Services Manager for Carmarthenshire Council, and I'm responsible for running all elections that take place in Carmarthenshire with my team, the elections team.
What will people be voting for?
People will be voting for their local Member of Parliament, so that the Member of Parliament is the person that will represent us on a constituency basis at London, at the Houses of Parliament.
What are the different ways to vote?
The different ways of voting are basically three ways. So the first method is in person, going along to your local polling station. The second option, if you're away, for example, or unable to get to your polling station, you can apply for a postal vote. And that's where we send the ballot papers to your home address and you vote from home. And then third option is to appoint a proxy. And a proxy is somebody that can be a family member, a neighbour, friend, you would appoint, and they will go to your local polling station and vote on your behalf.
What will I need to do if I want to vote?
So if you want to vote, what you will need to make sure is, one, that you're registered to vote, and your elections office can help you with that. If you're not sure, perhaps you've moved or you've changed your name, for example, we can help and check that you're on the register. You'll also, in the next few weeks, have a poll card which will tell you that you're on the register. But by all means, ring the office if you're unsure. So that's the first thing, is to ensure that you are on the register, and then decide whether you are able to go on the 4th of July to vote in person, or have a postal vote, or appoint a proxy.
What is photo ID?
Voter ID is a new regulation that's been brought into elections. So it's to enhance the security around voting. So in order for, because there has been unfortunately cases of fraud at elections in the past, so in order to vote at the polling station, you need to bring a photographic ID, and there's a whole list of things that you can bring, such as your passport or your driving licence, a blue badge if you have one, and there are a number of other such ID that you can bring. And again, the elections office can help you with that. If you don't have any of those documents, then you can apply for a free voter certificate. And again, your elections office can help you complete one of those. But that is something that you would take along to your polling station if you're voting in person, present to the presiding officer and poll clerk, the people who are sitting behind the desk when you go in to vote. And that is to show that it is yourself that is asking for that vote. And once you've presented that ID, then you will be given a ballot paper in the normal way. You don't need voter ID for postal voting, but you will if you're voting in person at the polling station.
If you do not have a photo ID, how do I get one?
Well, as I just said, there is a whole list of acceptable ID that you can bring. When you get your poll card, on the back of the poll card will be the whole list of acceptable documents. And if you find you haven't got one of those documents, then you can apply for a free voter certificate. And you can do that online through the government.uk website, or the elections office, or one of our Carmarthenshire contact centres will be able to assist you with that. You will need to have a photograph to upload onto the certificate. And if people have difficulties in doing that, we can do that for you. And our contact centres as well can take a photograph for you.
How do you know where to vote?
So you will have a poll card. So you'll find out how you are going to vote through your poll card. So that'll give your name, your address, your elector number, and the polling station that you need to go to. You won't be able to go to any other polling station other than what's on your poll card. If for some reason you don't get a poll card in the next couple of weeks, then please ring the elections office. It might be that you're not registered or you're registered for a previous address, and we can advise you on how you can either register or where you need to go on the 4th of July to vote.
What will happen when I vote at the polling station?
So we ask if you could take your poll card when you go to vote at the polling station. That just helps us to find you on the register. You will also need to have your voter ID, whether that be your driving licence, passport, or your free voter certificate. When you go to your polling station, you will be greeted by the staff that sit behind the desk. You present your poll card, and then they will ask to see that your voter certificate. Once they're happy with the voter certificate, you will then be given a ballot paper, and the directions on how you vote is on the top of the ballot paper. So you will be directed to a polling booth where you can vote in private. And as I said, the instructions are on the top of the ballot paper, but the presiding officer who sits behind the desk, they can also assist you if you would like further assistance in order to place your vote. So when an election is set, within the timetable for the election, there are set dates for deadlines for applying for a postal vote, getting on the register. And as with this election, we have deadlines as well. So the election is on Thursday, the 4th of July. In order to vote at that election, everybody has to be on the register by the 18th of June. So if somebody isn't on the register at this present time, they have up until midnight on the 18th of June to register to vote. And they can do that online through the government.uk website, the same site we get our passport or driving licence. Or if they need assistance, the elections office can aid them with that application. They will need their national insurance number to vote, to register to vote. That is important. So that's the first deadline, is the 18th of June. Then if somebody would prefer to vote by post, maybe because they're on holiday on the 4th of July or they're unable to get to that polling station, they can vote by post. And in order to apply for a postal vote, they would need to do so by 5 o'clock on the 19th of June. And to apply for a postal vote, again, you go onto the government.uk website. That's the safest, quickest and easiest way to register for a postal vote. However, if somebody doesn't want to do that, the elections office can help them with that application. You will also need your national insurance number in order to apply for a postal vote. And then the last deadlines are the 26th of June, and that's 5 o'clock deadline to apply for a proxy vote. So that's if somebody votes on your behalf, whether that be a friend, neighbour, family member. So you need to tell us by 5 o'clock on the 26th of June as to who that person is on the application form. And it also, that deadline of 5 o'clock is the last time that you can apply for a voter authority certificate if you find you haven't got the appropriate ID at home. So, and that's a free certificate so that you can vote on the 4th of July.